England. Center of the entire world. Hub of trading. Pinnacle of society. I'm sick of it. It's too stuffy. Too static. The whole world out there seems to be changing, but England doesn't seem to care. Need something new. Need something fresh. I don't want this anymore. I certainly don't want that. Seriously, we're trying to film the introduction to a documentary here. Do you mind?
No, let me finish my tea.
Right. But America, it's thriving with new possibilities. It's an enigma. We don't know much about it. I want to go there, figure out what's what. Be fun. It's a little challenging. Let's do it. Colonize me. So part of this new revolution is people taking a more interesting stance in what they think about religion. For example, some people don't really attend church anymore. I've been asking around and nobody really goes to it anymore. Watch this. Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
You going to church today?
I don't want to go to church anymore.
I've been getting that reaction all day. So I'm here with my friend Uriah Thompson, pastor of the local church. How do you do, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad.
Good.
I'm enjoying the colonies.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, we have the worst winters of all over here.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about your church. I mean, it's Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Sunday. As you'll probably notice, we don't have too much in the way of a congregation here today.
Yeah, it's a tad sparse.
Looking a little thin. We have had a recent decline in the past few years, though.
Really? Why do you think that is?
Oh, it's this newfangled philosophy and thought process that's taking hold here.
Oh yeah, I'd like to hear more about it.
Yeah, well, people have come to different conclusions now. They've started thinking, and they've decided that they can find answers in other places than here. Why go to a stuffy old church when you can have a relationship with God in the personal confines of your own comfy home?
I guess I can understand with that. How do you feel about the present situation?
Oh, I'd like to see him here at church. But unfortunately, people have opted not to go to church much anymore, and that's ultimately up to them, I suppose.
Finding their own ways to salvation, I guess.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
All right, well, good meeting with you.
Ah, heck yeah! Call me later.
Ah, maybe. Well, that's interesting. So part of the new religious revolutions of the world involves new beliefs. I'm here with my friend Thomas Jefferson, who has taken an interesting approach to the Bible, I believe. Is that what I've been hearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, why don't you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, you see, what I've done is I've taken the Bible and approached it with a more modern, more intelligent view. You see, a lot of the things in the Bible were written from a mythological standpoint. They were written with fantastic ideas to impress their children, their lovers, and strangers, and to make people think that they're powerful. And while there's much wisdom to be had in the stories, really, to be intelligent about it, you can really take out a lot of that stuff and find out what really happened and what didn't. So,
when you say stuff, though, I mean, what exactly are you taking out?
well, some of the more flashy things like the miracles that were performed.
The miracles? You mean like Jesus feeding the 5,000, walking on water?
Well, obviously, those are practically impossible.
But he was God.
Well, he was a man, and he was born from a human. How could he perform these things with the physical limitations that we have?
I suppose that's something to ponder. Well, thank you for your time. I will. Thank you for your time, Mr. Jefferson. We may call on you again.
Sure.
Lesson learned. Revolutions in religion? Not always a good thing. So part of everything that's been going on, there's a lot of scientific discovery going on. People are discovering not only their religions and whatnot, but also new technology, new ways to... Whoa!
How you doing?
Hi. Who are you?
Hello. I don't know.
Really? You seem to have something in your mouth.
Alright. Yes?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Tobacco.
Tobacco.
No.
Okay. Why is it on fire and in your mouth?
Hey, you smoke it. Feels good. Relaxing. Sharpens your wits.
Have you thought of maybe, I don't know, turning a profit from it? Try selling it?
No.
How'd you go about discovering this?
Yeah, well, I was just walking around and found it on the ground, pick up, smoke it. That's what I do is smoke it. And my tobacco.
So some ideas are better than others.
Yeah.
Trial and error in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Nice tripping over you.
Much obliged. Have a nice day.
You too. Next lesson. Can't walk 5 feet without tripping over somebody special. So, I'm standing here with what looks like somebody I've already met. Sir, are you sure we haven't met before?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Not even a little bit.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is Ben Franklin. You know?
Your name strikes familiar.
Ben Franklin.
I feel awful.
Ben.
It's
Franklin.
It's very good to meet you.
Hi.
I'm sorry for the way.
How do your hands warm?
Thank you. So I understand that you have a lot of inventions going.
Yeah, I do. I really do.
All right. I heard you have one that's great for thunderstorms.
That's my favorite one. It's a rod, okay, and it like when you put it out there, like when you're lightning, it hits the rod, right? So it's kind of you gotta be there. You gotta be there, man.
Okay.
The lightning, it hits the rod, not you. So.
Or your house. I know.
Or your house. Yeah, your house is a big deal. Yeah. Exactly.
Hate to have your house on fire.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, your glasses look a little peculiar, and you seem to be cringing a bit.
Yeah. They're near long oculars. Near long oculars. Long near oculars, or something like that.
Why don't you go ahead and explain to me how that works?
Well, you see, some glasses only are near, and some glasses only are long. Okay. So these are both near and long. I call them near long oculars.
That's a mouthful, though. I mean, you're an inventor. You want to try to make money off of this. I feel like, I don't know, something that rolls off the tongue better. Maybe, like bifocals?
Sounds like crap.
Okay, it's your invention.
Right.
It's your invention.
I'm about to tell you about my favorite invention. Get this. Daylight savings time.
So, how exactly would you be saving the day?
Okay, alright, think about it. You ever been blazing it a little bit and like you kind of want to sleep for like one more hour or something like that?
Blazing what exactly?
It. And say like, what if we just add one more hour to the day? Win-win.
That makes sense, I suppose. I mean, you could do that. You could do that during the winter when the days are starting to get shorter. But
you could. Yeah.
Wouldn't you have to compensate for that during when the days start to get longer?
Well, obviously. That's why it's daylight savings time, not daylight savings all the time.
I guess that makes sense. Alright. Well, just goes to show that I guess there's revolutions in science and religion.
You owe Mr. Washington some money. You're gonna have to come.
Hold on, let me get my year-long
back. We're going back to Mount Vernon. Come on.
Come on. Okay.
I don't know what happened, but Washington. The name rings a bell. Couldn't be the general. I have to go see.
Yes?
You look very familiar.
Thank you.
Is this Mount Vernon?
Yes.
Does George Washington live here?
Think so? Yeah.
Is he here right now?
Yes.
Great! I would love to speak to him.
Good for you. Yes?
That was extremely rude.
Yes, it was.
Why can't I speak to him?
I don't like you.
Let him in!
I don't like you either.
Let him in! Hungry? Might do a fellow.
For the record, I don't like you either.
I love you.
Well, I've finally gotten into Mount Vernon. Let's see what George Washington is up to.
Hello there!
George Washington? The hero of the French and Indian War in the flesh right next to me. This is amazing.
No, that was a long time ago.
Well, you're still the same man. I mean, how's the Royal Army? What could have possibly changed?
This is really awkward.
What do you mean?
I don't fight for England anymore. I'm with America now.
What?
There's my reasons.
What possible reasons could you have for siding with rebels?
Okay.
There's someone you need to meet. Alfred! Where's Thomas Paine?
Yes, I'm here, my lord.
It's good to meet you, sir.
Meet you too.
Now, you're this wonder that's going to tell me why Washington left the Royal Army.
I don't know about the word wonder. I'm a man. George Washington finally left the British Army because he came to realize, after I wrote my book, which was a stroke of genius, by the way, that America finally has a military value in the world, so to speak.
Military value? How so?
Well, as you see here, we have an economy. Industry in the Americas has been booming in the last few years. Breakthroughs in scientific, religious, philosophical, industrial, military. They're all over the place. And finally, America has a platform for which to jump off of, so to speak.
But we don't even have a navy.
But we have the means to make a navy.
But, I mean, what about the other countries? What do they think of this?
Well, they can think whatever they want to think. Personally, in another stroke of genius, I've just come up with this, bear with me. I've seen London. I've seen France. I've seen the Royal British Empire's underpants.
What does France have to do with this?
We're gonna need to back up here.
So, to sum up what Thomas Paine had told me, France is under a lot of pressure at the moment. The rich are oppressing the poor, there's no middle class, and the poor is getting sick of it. Now, the thing that seemed to interest me the most is the fact that an American happened to know what was going on in France at the time. It must be that in America people take an interest in world affairs more than their own, in a way. Now, he seems to think that it's going to end in a lot of bloodshed, but I'm an optimist, and I'm going to think it's going to, at least something of it is going to come out, and it'll be beautiful. Like singing and dancing. Spoiler!
Tell me, what is your name, by the way?
It's Thomas.
Oh, yeah, that's my name, too. Good name, good name. Tom. Tilly Toms. Tilly Tom Tompkins. Tell me, Tom, are you a religious man?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
Yes, well, if you have read my book, you would have known that I cited a bit of scripture wherein when the people asked for a king, God said, "You shall have no king other than I." That is where I get a lot of my. That's where it's one of the verses where I cite when I made my book, Common Sense. It's only common sense, you see.
So you're saying that. Well, I mean, England has a king.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
by having a king,
Uh-huh.
they've just purposely defied the Bible?
See. Yes.
And so all this time, the Catholic Church under the crown has just been glossing over it?
Indeed. It's one of my bitter truths that the common sense unbears to the world. The truth hurts.
It does. I guess I owe you an apology for being so bitter earlier.
It's okay.
Well, it's been an interesting ride these last couple days. I've met a lot of interesting people. Met Thomas Paine, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, the weird guy who looked like Ben Franklin that smoked everything. And Thomas Jefferson, that was interesting. But that all goes to show what America really is about. I mean, the pastor, when I first encountered him, he seemed to be speaking about religious freedom. I mean, there was nobody at his church, but that didn't bother him, because he knew everybody in the area that loved God. It was all about just finding happiness in yourself, rather than the rest of the world. And then Thomas Jefferson, be it was a little extreme to take out every miracle in the Bible, that was still an example of religious freedom. He believed it, he was able to do it. Wasn't hurting anybody. And then Thomas Paine, using religion as a debate tool. I mean, until now, most of the time we'd always just followed it blindly to the letter. But anymore it seems that we can, in a way, pick and choose scripture and find the ones that make sense most. Maybe not cut it all out like Thomas Jefferson, but try to understand what we can do. And then Ben Franklin, he was a little strange. Some of his inventions were a little off, but that seems to be another idea. Scientific innovation. Taking knowledge of the world. Thunderstorms cause fires. Glasses can't see close and far away. And just putting it all together. We have the technology, let's make it happen. And another thing that Thomas was talking about, that we should break away from England. Living in England all this time, I'd seen them as dirty rebels. But in reality, the Americans are struggling people, being oppressed and pushed down. And maybe that's how the French feel. And why it may eventually lead to something for them. Well, it's been an interesting trip. I'm sure there's more out there. I'm Thomas Jacobson, and I'm your West End connection. Take it easy.